Welcome to Scott Slasher World. This week, I want to take a trip back to the late 1990s when Spencer's Gifts were producing horror action figures. I'm talking about the RIP Horror Collector series. They made 9 different figures. Well, really 8, but they made 2 different versions of Michael Myers. They made a bloody version and a non-bloody version. And these figures were produced from 1998 to 2001. So they made a bunch in 98, a few in 99, and like 2 more in 2001. Today I have 3 I'm going to show off, and then I'll fill you in on the ones that I don't currently have in my collection. First up this week is the Cryp Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. This is an awesome action figure. This one is from 1998. Most of these are numbered to only 30,000 ever made. A few of these were 100,000. I know the Bloody Michael Myers, they made 100,000 of those. But most of the figures and all the ones that I'm showing off, they only had 30,000 that they created. But man, I love these things. And the back, as you can see, opens. So as you open it up, it has more information. It has a whole write-up about the Cryp Keeper. Mine is 11,168 out of the 30,000. These all do still currently talk, but they're so low because I've never changed the batteries. They've never actually been removed. These are the original ones that I did buy in the late 90s, early 2000s. As you can tell, every time I've moved, I had to take these with me. So there's a lot of wear and tear on the box. As you can see, the little Cryp Keeper, his box is a little worn. Let's see, I'm gonna put this up to the microphone just to see if you can hear what he says. So let's see if this works. I have no idea what he just said. Let's see, one more time. As you can tell, he doesn't really work because the batteries are dead. He's saying something, but I can't even remember what he says. I think maybe if we open them, see the back of the box does not tell you what he says either. I can't remember how many things he says. I don't know if it's like 1 or 2 things. I would imagine like 3 or 4 tops, but it might just be 1 thing that he says. I love the "try me if you dare," as of course everybody's going to be pushing the buttons. On the back of the box, it says the Cryp Keeper is the world's undisputed icon of ghoul, horror, and spooktacular fun. He's hip, funny, cutting edge, and without question, the creep of all creeps. Slowly but surely, kiddies, he's become for Halloween what that jolly old fat man in the red suit is to Christmas. His first scary appearance was on the amazing pages of the classic EC Comics of the 50s, where he presided over chilling stories of gore and mayhem, captivating an entire cult following for years and years. But it was as master of scaremonies of the award-winning TV series Tales from the Crypt that catapulted him into the genuine spooky superstar all you boils and ghouls have come to know and loathe. Have fun, fright friends, with this back-siding Cryp Keeper talking doll, which only goes to prove the beast is yet to come. And I messed that last line up as it's have fun, fright friends, with this hack sighting instead of exciting. It's hack sighting. I just read that one wrong, but love the pictures on the back. I always love the box. One of the reasons why I never took the 3 that I own out of the box. Now, I'll go ahead and spoil, I did own 2 more that I got rid of, and I don't know why I did, but I used to own the non-bloody Michael Myers and the Scream Ghostface figure. I sold them both at a yard sale because I opened them up out of the boxes so that I could play with them. And then like later on, I decided since they weren't in the box that I should sell those and keep the 3 that I did currently still have in the box. Don't know why I did that. Wish I still had them all, but very cool. And let's see what's next, kiddies. Next up, it's Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Beautiful figure. This Leatherface has a 1999 copyright. And it is 6,444 out of the 30,000. He still works, but you're probably not going to be able to hear him. If I recall, it's a chainsaw. Makes sense. He has an opening back as well, with all kinds of cool photos from the film. A whole big description. A different font on the back, which is cool. I like that they kind of made each of these unique. Let's see if I can hold him up and hear what he says. You could probably hear that. It is the chainsaw. You can hear him rev up his chainsaw. If we open up the back, this says, "The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the horrifying classic that possesses an undying power to frighten audiences again and again. Terror so strong that when the movie first opened, audiences actually walked out of the theater in a state of shock. For 5 young friends, a typical summer afternoon drive becomes a terrifying nightmare. After hearing reports of grave robbings, they set out to check on a family grave. One by one, they find true horror as they wander into the murderous clutches of Leatherface." And then it has facts about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Originally, the film was titled Head Cheese, and later, Leatherface. It wasn't changed to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre until the movie was about to be released. Tobe Hooper, the producer and director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, was originally shooting for a PG rating for the film. The movie has been banned in Germany and the United Kingdom. The narrator at the beginning of the film is none other than John Larroquette of Night Court fame. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on the story of the serial killer, Ed Gein. Leatherface actually wears 3 different masks in the film: the killing mask, the old lady mask, and the pretty woman mask. And the last figure from the RIP Horror Collector series that is currently in my collection is none other than Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series. This one has a copyright of 1999. Has some cool stills. A lot of these stills actually are from Friday the 13th Part 1, which this Jason would not have appeared in. As you can see, the picture here on the bottom of the box is actually from Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. So that's Part 9 in the series. It does have a opening back too, as you can see. I can tell a bunch of these stills are from Friday the 13th. I think that's Friday the 13th, Part 1. It's got a description on the back as well. Let's see if this one still works. I can't remember if it works or not. I don't hear anything. Hey, there it goes. As you can tell, it's the Friday the 13th classic theme song that plays because Jason doesn't talk. An awesome, awesome figure. I love this one. He looks so cool. I love his deformed head. Looks exactly like from Part 9. The back of the box is different font and everything too. I like the way they did this. A shorter description, but this one says, "As a young boy at Camp Crystal Lake, Jason Voorhees drowned when counselors were assigned to watch over. Years later, a rash of murders occurred at Crystal Lake, and people came to the horrifying realization that Jason Voorhees had returned from the dead. Wearing his trademark hockey mask and brandishing a wide assortment of deadly weapons, this unstoppable killer has terrorized teenagers everywhere for more than a decade. Jason Voorhees will go down in history as the most prolific serial killer of all time." And this is from like I said, copyright from 1999. So at the time, he definitely was the most prolific killer. This is before all the newer Halloween sequels were coming out. At this time, I believe, 9 Friday the 13th had already came out. So, Freddy versus Jason had not came out yet, but you had Jason X didn't come out yet either, right? No, Jason X would have came out late 2000s, or early 2000s, like 2001, I believe. I'd have to double check that. My mind says 2001. Could be somewhere early 2000s, like 2003, but I'm thinking 2001. Awesome to have. And like I said, there are actually 9 total on this series. Number 4 would be Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 5 would be Michael Myers from Halloween. Number 6 would be the bloody Michael Myers from Halloween. Number 7 is Ghostface from Scream. And then, like I said, in 2001, they actually released 2 more figures. They released a Rocky Horror figure. They released Frankenfurter. The 9th and final figure from 2001 would have been Eric Draven from The Crow. So that is all of the figures in this Spencer's line. So the RIP Horror Collector Series had a total of, I guess, 8 characters, but 9 total figures, at least to my knowledge, just doing a little bit of research on the web. Back in the day, they didn't really make a whole lot of horror merchandise. Now, luckily, you can find all kinds of stuff. You know, NECA's making all kinds of cool stuff. All these other companies are making all this cool stuff. But we really had, and McFarlane was a huge one. When these came out, I know the McFarlane line came like right about the same time, that very first wave of Movie Maniacs. And I was collecting all of those too. And I still have all those original ones that came out. Almost all of them, actually. But good to have all these in my collection, and I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope it was a bit informative. I love these. Like I said, I don't care that the boxes are kind of worn. I love them. I do wish that, you know, maybe I should pull them out and put batteries in them, but I don't know. I don't want to separate them from their box. I hope everyone enjoyed my trip down memory lane talking about these cool 18-inch talking horror action figures from Spencer's Gifts. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite was and how many of these are currently in your collection. And if you've not done already, please subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a video.